Now, also laid out in the new state budget, a plan to ban gas stoves and furnaces in new buildings in the next 3 years. A lot of mixed reaction on this.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about New York State banning gas from new buildings. Not just gas stoves, but gas. Like, no gas hookups will be in your building. So no gas furnace, no gas stove, no gas, nothing. No gas, no natural gas will be in your home. Now, is it because, oh, we're trying to protect people, we don't want all the harmful particulates in your building? I think not. I think it's because of my climate change, my global warming, my Green New Deal. I think that's what's happening here. And it's totally ridiculous. And it won't actually do what they are telling you that it's going to do. And before I go any further, we have some news clips from local news out there in New York, maybe even an article. I will link to this in the description box, of course. If you're on IG, link in the bio. Go to the corresponding article on the website. First things first, let's check this video out right here from the very beginning and watch some of that. Then we'll keep on going. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Now, also laid out in the new state budget, a plan to ban gas stoves and furnaces in new buildings in the next 3 years. A lot of mixed reaction on this. Robert Moses in Kew Gardens, Queens. What's going on there, Robert?
Rosanna, is this sound environmental policy or big government run amok? Depends, of course, on whom you ask. Here is the deal on this one. Natural gas stoves and furnaces are banned in most new construction in New York State beginning.
Most new construction? I wonder which places are not going to have gas banned. Probably like government buildings where it makes sense, because obviously a gas furnace is going to be a lot more efficient depending upon the size of the building, depending upon where you are. So certain new buildings are going to have it, but just for you, the regular everyday common person, no, not for you.
In 2026. There are exceptions, however, for commercial buildings and other places like hospitals, but that has not quieted the Republican opposition. Senate Republican leader Rob Ortt, for example, calls the policy unconstitutional and worries that it will increase utility bills and housing costs. Republican Party Chair Ed Cox calls the ban a complete capitulation to the radical left. His words there. Governor Kathy Hochul, of course, sees it differently. She said earlier this morning on Good Day New York that New York has to do its part to halt climate change.
Oh, boy.
Everybody's...
Hold on, wait. Okay, Kathy Hochul, if you want to do your part to, quote unquote, end climate change, then that's fine. But why put that on me? If I was in New York, which I'm not, thank goodness, but if I was in New York, why put it on me? Why don't you just do it for yourself? It's so weird. And I bet she has a big, crazy gas range in her house, wherever she lives. I bet. So all that weed stuff is complete BS.
Everybody's got a gas stove. Enjoy it. Keep your gas stove. But we, just like we had to go from long time ago.
If you like your gas stove, keep your gas stove. Let's see how long that lasts before they do a gas stove confiscation.
Transition from coal as your energy source. We do have to transition. There are clean energy alternatives. It's going to take time. And I want to make sure that New Yorkers don't get hit hard for the cost. So we're going to roll this out. But new buildings that are going up, they can go electric, they can do heat pumps. Well, this is how you transition.
And this is the first in the nation ban of its kind, so we'll have to see if other states opt to follow suit. The goal...
I think California had banned gas stoves, but not just gas in general. I mean, you can still have a gas furnace, but no gas stove. And I think they were talking about safety concerns. But really, we knew what it was from the jump. It was about climate change, right? At least they're being honest about it.
The goal here is for New York State to cut emissions by 85% by the year 2050. So state leaders, at least those who supported this budget deal, hope that this ban helps to achieve that goal.
We'll see about that. Now, here's the next video. This is going to be about the restaurant industry. They have responded to the proposed or the oncoming ban on gas in new buildings.
New York State may become the first to ban gas stoves in a controversial move to ban natural gas in new buildings by 2025 as part of a recently proposed budget deal. For months, some people have been concerned that the Biden administration would back a similar federal ban, fueled by concerns from Republican lawmakers. But the White House says the president does not support banning gas stoves.
Okay.
Left-leaning cities across the country have passed similar bans, while some other states like Texas and Arizona have prohibited a natural gas ban. Data from the EPA says commercial and residential buildings account for 13% of the country's greenhouse gas emissions.
Okay, so let's go back here. We just saw the video where they said there's going to be exceptions to the ban. We're talking about New York State banning gas from new buildings. And it said certain commercial buildings and hospitals. So I wonder how much of that 13% is commercial and residential. Like, give me the breakdown of, I would bet that it's going to be 80-90% commercial. Talking about restaurants, places like that, big places, big warehouses or whatever. Your little 500 square foot shoebox in New York City probably is not going to be a drop in the bucket when you're talking about the greenhouse gas emissions. I digress.
Of the country's greenhouse gas emissions, mainly from gas appliances. And some researchers have linked gas stoves to childhood asthma and other health issues.
We'll continue to ensure a cleaner, healthier environment for future generations. We have the nation's most ambitious plan. We're proud of it.
In New York, the ban is not finalized, but the governor, a Democrat, is already
That cover of Time magazine is and that New York Post is crazy. With the gas burners on top of her head, that's crazy. Is that like a crown?
already getting pushback from critics, like the restaurant industry, where the majority use gas stoves.
Yep.
Why is the National Restaurant Association against natural gas bans?
Over 90% of restaurant chefs report to the National Restaurant Association that changing the way that they cook with natural gas is going to have a profound impact on the quality of the dishes that are being served.
That's right.
Environmental groups say a natural gas ban could significantly decrease indoor pollution. Dr. Aaron Bernstein studies the health impacts of gas emissions.
When you burn gas indoors, it makes air pollution that's bad for lungs. And that air pollution can reach pretty high levels.
And it's all nonsense, though. It's like, look, check it out. I worry about that. I worry about the indoor pollution. And quite frankly, a lot of people are not even really cooking food no more. They're not using their gas ranges like that. You know, that's not even really a thing. You know, if you got problems with particulates and pollution in the house, you know, try investing in the air filter. A lot of people are not even changing their air filter. Their smoke alarms beeping. They're not using no fan over their hood when they cook the food. If you just had general sanitary practices in your home, then you would cut down on a lot of the particulates and stuff in your house, rather than just saying, okay, let's ban the gas stoves. Okay, we could ban the gas stoves all you want to, but people still won't change their air filter or the smoke alarm battery or turn the hood on over their stove, even over an electric stove. So what are we talking about? This is all BS. Just say it's because you want to capitulate to the green energy cabal and be honest, rather than lying like this.
Particularly in kitchens where there's not a lot of ventilation.
But with 37% of American households still using gas stoves, decisions about its future are causing friction.
We are certainly urging the New York State legislators and the governor to keep an open mind, consider including exceptions for restaurants that are using natural gas.
From a public health standpoint, really the question, ban or no ban, is how we can minimize exposure. Because, you know, even with this ban, most folks are still going to have natural gas, right, for a long time.
So that's that. That's the couple videos right there. There's an article, but for time's sake, I won't really read that. I'll just link to it in the description along with the rest of the videos that you saw right here. But yeah, so they want to ban gas stove. They want to ban gas, period. Like I said it, I called it in the previous video because in California, they're banning gas stoves. And then their argument was what the guy said at the end, talking about health concerns. I'm like, man, that's BS. That's all BS. It's about green energy. And so at least Kathy Hochul is just letting it out the bag of saying, yeah, it's about green energy. We want to force people to go to electric. But here's a question I have as I close. If you want to have everybody be on electric, how are you really going to do that with the electric grid already being strained in many states? Okay, we've already seen rolling blackouts in California. And remember the Texas storm that knocked out a bunch of the power? the ice storm. Now, luckily, they're not going to ban gas. But what about other states? Like I said, California, you get rolling blackouts, and then you want to have all the cars be electric. You want to have everything be electric, so everything's getting plugged in to these regular 240 volt or 120 volt. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's just kind of strange. I feel like there's gonna be a lot more electrical fires. You're talking about dangers from gas blowing up. How about electrical fires from overloading circuits and everything else? People building these buildings, these new Chinese style tofu construction buildings, real shoddy. They barely meet code. They probably don't even meet code. They get inspected and don't even get inspected. It just let stuff happen. They burn up, crack down within the first year. This is a whole big mess. We got bigger fish to fry than to be worried about trying to ban gas stoves and whatnot and trying to focus on this whole Green New Deal, green energy nonsense. It doesn't even really exist. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about the ban on gas in new buildings in New York State? Not just New York City, the entire state. From Albany, Buffalo, all the way to Poughkeepsie's, everywhere, the whole state. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is a ridiculous thing to do. Natural gas, it's an efficient method to power your furnace and your stove and everything else. It just makes sense to have. Gas in your car is also very efficient. When you pull up to the gas pump, if you are on E, even with a big truck, 5 minutes and you back on the road. Try doing that with an electric vehicle, with an electric truck. How long will that take to charge up? 45 minutes, even on the fast charge at best. The technology to go to all electric is not here. And how are you going to power the electric at the station, at the actual electric station? How is that going to happen? Let's talk about real things and real ways this will play out, rather than just all this pie in the sky, Green New Deal, green energy nonsense that we're on right now today. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.